y'all know y'all out with Snapchat Queen and AI chatbot friends, and we got a city council historic preservation commission meeting that happened on January the 27th, 2026. And y'all know we got to listen in because y'all know that they done tore Greenville down and they redoing. This is them redoing America. The old America is gone. I told you we in World War III. This is what they're doing to gentrify, if that's the correct word, they're playing in this new Greenville. So this is them tearing down the old housing structures and building up skyscrapers to pack us in for more tax property money, right? Because you got to think with the last meeting we saw, it was about the tax property, right? How much money they can make off the property tax here in Greenville, right? So you don't have any affordable housing programs that's available for your seniors who are receiving disabilities or people with low income. They did away with all those programs. So now they're trying to figure out how to get more people packed into a city that only offer jobs at working at the hospital or restaurants that's not making enough income to even cover the bills out here while they're tearing down the affordable housing, where these houses usually only cost between $250 to $500 a month in these communities. They tear them down to build skyscraper units that the community can't afford without some type of public assistance, which is more federal money coming out of the taxpayer pocket. Hold on, y'all. Let's watch this. Now, I don't own the rights to this video or audio. This is the City of Greenville. We using this for learning purposes only.
So item number 2 then is the update to the historic district and local landmarks design guidelines. And we'll hear for city staff about that project.
All right, good afternoon. We're getting ready to kick that off. I know that we haven't met since I believe November, so I'll give you just sort of a quick recap. This is going to be an update to the current design guidelines. Some of the big things we want to do is we want to make sure that our guidelines are in compliance with state law. There's been a couple little tweaks with that, so that's going to be one thing. We also just want to put in more user-friendly text for sort of an end user or the public. We're going to add some more pictures and diagrams and have it be a little bit more informative. Now,
the reason why she's saying this, because if you notice, I've been showing you videos of me trying to go online and put in applications, and it is extremely hard. It should not take you 1 hour to put in an application for you to get to the end of the screen, for them to tell you that you just wasted a whole hour because your information is invalid, or there is some kind of error code at the end of the screen after you done wasted a whole hour putting in the application. Now, we started coding these computers when I was in college in class of 2008. So if they're on a 1G network far as their screens go, and they're operating off a 5G tower, of course it's not gonna work. They never upgraded the system. They never coded the system correctly, family. And this is why when you go to put your information in, you're getting all these error codes at the end of the computer, because the codes aren't right. Any computer programmer can tell you that while we sitting down working on these computers and these projects, we can see that the project is incomplete. So this is them having to go back and get paid all over again to correct their mistakes that should have been corrected when they got paid the first time. Now, mind you, this meeting is about them tearing down the old Greenville. You gotta listen to her dialogue. They're operating outside of the law, so they had to go in and retweak the law, right? Now, these are her words. Because from the last meeting we saw, they had someone come in and explain, well, we see that y'all are using these funds. However, we don't see what you're doing with them, because you're supposed to be fixing up these roads. That's your job. You're supposed to be fixing up the water system. That's your job, right? She had to break down what their job, duty, and responsibility was with that funding, as opposed to building all these houses and tearing these houses down. So let's continue to listen, family. This is for learning purposes only. I don't own the rights to this audio video, but I am back in the city of Greenville, still looking for a house as they're tearing down houses, posting about it.
What we're trying to do right now is we're going to kick this off in February. So within your packet, you'll see there's some brief descriptions of how we're going to do this. But one of the things that we want to do tonight is to go ahead and establish our task force. So on page 15 in your packet, it gives a really good rundown of the task force and the purposes of it. And I'm sorry?
You just don't, I didn't know if we were supposed to have a handheld.
Oh, no. I just meant the electronic packet that you get. That's okay. We'll go through it. It's just a one-pager. It's very easy to understand. Larry, does that mean you weren't paying attention to your packet?
I did. I was just making sure we didn't have a hard copy here to look at.
I kid. And so what we've done is we have established the task force that's going to meet one time a month. Let me see, there's 1 month we left out. I believe it's July. Vacation time always zaps July. That's a very bad time. But what we're looking for tonight specifically is for the actual task force. Hopefully you can see this. We have established it that there would be 2 property owners from the district. We also need 1 commission member seat. We already have a contractor that that has come to the commission before, done some work. He's volunteered to serve, so we've got the contractor piece filled. We are working with ECU to get a representative from them. Again, ECU owns, I don't know, collectively about a dozen properties within the district, so we would like for them to have a seat at the table. And
Now we're gonna stop her right there, East Carolina and the contractors, right? And 2 property owners, right? Now this is how they came in through a land grab using the university, right? Because you notice that they're asking for contractors, right, within the college or the local landmarks, right? The college students aren't local students, so how will that benefit the local community, right? They're looking for a East Carolina University representative, right? Someone who is still working within the college, right? Who is not a local representative and is not going to benefit the local community at all, but someone who is enrolled into a university, right? Who is not from this local state or town, right? Now we're looking at the Historic Preservation Commission member, right? And the council liaison. Are these people from here? So let's do a little research, right? And we're gonna ask Google some questions, family. Hold on. So what I did, I asked Google who owns the city historic sites, right? And it says historic sites in Greenville, North Carolina are owned by a mixture of private individuals, East Carolina University, and the City of Greenville, with over 33 local landmarks under the regulatory purview of the Historic Preservation Commission, HPC, right? Who is the City of Greenville? Let's see. I'm going to put this link down here in the video, family. But these are things you got to know, right? Because this is supposed to be owned by the people in the city, right? This is the old Greenville. Right? And these are things we got to look up, right? Because this is how they come in and they change things and put things in their name when it's supposed to be owned by the taxpayer, the people, we the people, right? I am the people's princess, right? So how would this not be owned by the people if we're paying the taxes on it? right? Entertainment and recreation, right? So we're gonna get back to her meeting, right? As we go over these things right here. We're gonna listen to her continue to talk.
And then we'll also get a city council liaison that's assigned to the commission. That has not been assigned. I think that's going to happen at the council retreat this weekend. And so theoretically, the commission, depending on the composition, you could seat.
Now, mind you, they always on a retreat, right? And that's taxpayer money that they're spending for these meetings to be on a retreat, right? While we clearly seeing them tearing down the housing in the communities, calling them historic preservations, because that's a way for them to work around the loophole law. It's how you wording these properties, right? That's them operating within that loophole law. How do I get around this law so that I can make this law happen? While I'm paying for me to go on a retreat and be in a meeting for an hour while I'm enjoying the luxuries of this retreat, right? Off the backs of taxpayers.
3 members tonight if you wanted to. We definitely need a commission member, and then we can have 2 owners. I do have another person who does, who owns properties in the district that we can also sub in as well. But the real the real purpose behind the task force.
Now you listen to her words. Now you see she already know people to put in those positions, right? So there's still them operating in-house, right? Nowhere is the local community involved in any of these decisions. Even when they come and ask me to these meetings about my opinion, none of it really matters because all they need is a signature, right? They want me to do it for free, but they're clearly getting paid and going on retreats, right? I'm supposed to do it for free when they call and ask me questions, but they're clearly getting paid for it. So how is this benefiting me with giving them my answer, right? How is this benefiting the local community if none of the contractors are from the local community like they did the roads and the bridge? Nobody was from the local community got a job. So that money went out of the local community because like she said, they already got people in play. We got to pay attention to their dialogue and how they work in this loophole law on us.
Forces again is you're going to be given new information. You're going to be given the updated information. And so there'll be some decision making on it. It will come back to the whole commission. And then we will also do public outreach, which is going to happen in February. And we're going to have.
See, there we go with the public outreach, right? That's them wanting us to give them our opinion for free while they get paid, right? Paying local contractors that aren't local to do the job, but we have to do and give them the services for free while we're paying for it. Because mind you, this is our taxpayer money that's at work. Some of it is private, but a majority of our city council money comes from privates. It comes from our taxpayer money. Now, how they're trying to private everything is what we got to pay attention to in these meetings. Because when they try to private everything, that takes away from what the taxes is paying for. This is why the housing is so confused right now, because they're trying to privatize everything where they're controlling the land. Listen to this language, family.
Have 2 different meetings. We're going to have a Thursday evening meeting and then a Saturday morning meeting with our consultants. And so that will.
Now, mind you, she got 2 meetings setting up with a consultant, right? So that's more money that we got to pay somebody while she's going to ask the public to do it for free. I'm going to let y'all ponder on that. She got 2 meetings where she got to pay somebody to consult with her, a middleman, while we need to give her our public opinion for free.
Be a way that if citizens or really anybody who's interested wanted to come, we'll have surveys and collect data, get information from them. But we also have a website, which is in your staff report. You can go on that website right now. It's set up. And that will also be where we collect the data and put the data so that anybody can sort of watch as progress is made. So we'll have ways for the public to be informed that even if they can't come to an in-person meeting, there'll still be a way to collect the data. And so
Mind you, it's about our data, right? Everything is based off them making money off what we give them for free. They jacking up the prices, making it convenient for a college student to come in and have a start. But the local community is shuffled around in shelters while they want us, the citizens, to give them our opinion for them to get paid while they shuffling us around.
I see it here in my notes. The first meeting in February will be in person, and then after that there'll be virtual meetings, approximately an hour, and that would be March, April, May, June, and August. We'll only add September or October if we feel like we need a couple extra meetings to get ourselves straight, but for right now.
What she basically saying is, depending on how much money they need, is when they'll determine if the meeting is necessary, because they get paid under fellowships as well. They call it a fellowship. And that's how they do their applications to get paid on a fellowship while they asking us to volunteer and give them the data while they getting paid, family. Listen to this loophole.
I would look at February to August and no July. And with that, I will be happy to answer any questions, and we can just take it from there. Volunteers?
Sounds good.
I mean, that sounds quite reasonable. So the historic property owners, are you asking us to try to identify some historic property owners that you might approach, or are you suggesting that a historic property owner who's also a member of the commission?
No, we have, in this group, I'll say, in this group, we have 3 seats that could be slotted. And that would be if you're a historic property owner or if you're a commission member.
So basically what she's saying, she already got 3 people up there that's already in her mind to go ahead on and sign that paperwork.
I do have another person that we've reached out to that is a landlord.
She got a landlord on backup, family.
And brings stuff to the commission quite frequently. And I thought.
And they already work in-house with the commission, so they know each other. So y'all live with Snapchat Queen, the AI chatbot friends. Y'all see they done cut my video. Y'all go check the rest of this meeting out, and we comment below. Boy, we with the City of Greenville, North Carolina, and how they redoing their district. Y'all got to remember, we at World War III. This is how they came in, and they're historic in Greenville, right? Go look some of this stuff up, right? Historic preservation, right? Who are they getting these contracts from and how?
I thought that would be a good person to put on the task force from just a different lens, which is someone who works with the commission and has to abide by the rules.
Now, of course, y'all know that's them messing with my internet, so that's why I said y'all go ahead on and continue to read through this. I'm gonna drop some links in the video below. Well, y'all know y'all out with Snapchat Queen, the AI chatbot for real, boy. We be back.